Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV from a slightly rainy Heidelberg in Germany. We're about 25-26 kilometres away from Hoffenheim, where the Reds will be taking on them in a Champions League qualifier tonight. That's going to be a beast. As you can see, the square here is starting to fill up with Liverpool banners and fans. Spirits not as high as they could be because everyone's getting weed on. But news then moving on. A couple of things. Nothing mega, if I'm perfectly honest. You've got Sheyi Ojo looks set to complete a loan move to Fulham, which is sound. I think I discussed this earlier on in the summer that a clear loan move was always going to be on the cards, but where he was going to go was important. Now, in years gone by, when he was being linked with, we've seen players linked with Premier League loan moves, you think, yeah, that's for the best. Get him a Premier League loan move, get him to test himself. But if you're getting game time at Fulham, and let's be honest, if we can try and get into Fulham's good graces ahead of Ryan Sessegnon's potential transfer in a year's time, that would be great, wouldn't it? So let us know your thoughts on that. Is Fulham a good fit for Sheyi Ojo? Let us know in the comments below. Jurgen Klopp's been talking about Emre Can's contract situation in the pre-match press conference, saying that basically the situation's not ideal. He's yet to sign. Negotiations and talks still ongoing, and he said obviously in an ideal world it should just be done, but it's not. But the player's happy at Liverpool, his head's in the right place, it's not going to affect him playing football matches for the team, so it will continue on, and when it gets sorted, it gets sorted. Again, a little bit of a concern that it's been left this long. This is something that should have been tied up, but I think it kind of speaks to how important Emre Can was to the squad, and how that's changed in the last, what, 8 or 9 months. You know, before Christmas, going into January, I think a lot of people were saying, oh, he's not really kicked on. Is he going to be the important player Liverpool need him to be? Or we thought he might be. And then all of a sudden, the back end of the season, he really kicked on and he was excellent. So there you go. Let us know your thoughts on that. Liverpool need to get that sorted. I won't say big news, but it's interesting news nevertheless. So Ralf Rangnick, who is by all accounts the main man at RB Leipzig, has been talking about the Naby Keita. So there's an interesting thread for the Duke LFC's put this on Twitter, and a few other sources as well. So apparently he said there were 2 offers from Liverpool, and in between times also a telephone call between the clubs, but not between me and Jurgen Klopp. For us, it was always clear that we would not give Naby Keita. That is why there was no direct contact. Every club that has sporting ambitions would have done the same as we did, but we must weigh it up. If we let Keita go for 70 to 80 million euros this year, what more would that bring us compared to the sum we would get next year? Now that's interesting, because effectively what he's saying is, and I think we all kind of knew this, but it's interesting to see it come from Rangnick himself, that he's saying, well, yeah, look, it's well publicised that he's got a release fee that's going to be activated, that can be activated next summer, which is in the region of, well, 50-odd million pounds there or thereabouts. I think it was 48 to say. Now, you know, you effectively look at Liverpool paying 20 to 30 million on top of that to get them this season. But what he's effectively saying is, we'll look at the benefits for Liverpool here. What is the real benefit of having that extra money? Is it more benefit to us to have the player than the money right here, right now? We're better off having that player for another season and then dealing with it for less money next year, which is very interesting. But it also does say very much that he's a player who does have a price, and it also makes you think maybe one last time, if Liverpool prepare to spend the money, maybe 210 million in, 215, 20, whatever. If we're so dead certain that he's going to be a massive improvement to our midfield, then make that happen. Go and make that transfer happen. It doesn't look likely at this point. And again, there are no guarantees. For everything that I've been told as well from the Leipzig side of things, you know, Ralf Rangnick, what he says goes, and they're not interested because it's there's bigger things at play than just having money in the bank, and there's more the things that are more important to Leipzig than money, and that is just having a good player and being a solid, stable squad going into the next season. So the most important thing, of course, for Liverpool now, with a couple of weeks and a couple of weeks to go until the closing of the transfer window, is that they get the business done as soon as possible. You know, the mood from people I've chatted to in and around Germany is good, and it very much doesn't represent a lot of the stuff that you're reading and hearing on Twitter. Very much negativity, people banging the same drum over and over again. It's a match day. Liverpool playing footy again. We're in a competition that they want to be in. We're 2 games away. We're 90 minutes away potentially from well, this game we're 180 minutes away from being in the Champions League group stage, which is a big tick of a milestone achieved for where Liverpool want to be, and that starts tonight. It starts at Hoffenheim. Everyone here is going to be absolutely bouncing in a few hours' time. The ground is going to be buzzing, and hopefully the mighty Reds deliver on the pitch, because, let's be honest, for all the problems we've got in terms of personnel and transfers and maybe what you think about the higher-ups or whatever, we've got a boss manager, we have got some incredible players, players. We've got an incredible team ethic, we've got an incredible system of play, and we've got a wonderful passion and desire both on the pitch and in the stands as well. So we do well to remember that as we go into a massive game of football tonight. Anyway, I'm here, I'm buzzing. There'll be more from me after the match. Stay tuned. Chris will be live immediately after the game. He's done a starting 11 prediction as well, so you can see Chris almost immediately after the game's finished. But hang around, stay tuned. Later on tonight, we'll be bringing you videos, interviews, things from inside the ground and around the ground as well. It's going to be an absolute belter. Subscribe to Redmen TV, subscribe to Mates TV. Make me happy, make me smile. Come on, Liverpool. Let's get into the Champions League.